The United States of America is now claiming that it will bring the enriched uranium from Iran to the United States of America. Yes, so whatever uranium was destroyed or is still remaining in Iran, USA is claiming that they will bring it back from Iran, not bring it back as such, but bring from Iran to USA. However, in response to this exact statement, Iran is saying that the enriched uranium would not be transferred anywhere, nowhere else, no country whatsoever. It will remain in Iran itself. So we will understand what is this uranium enrichment, what are the types of uraniums that are present, and why uranium enrichment is becoming such a critical thing, and what is the difference between using uranium for the civil purposes and for nuclear weapons. What is the difference and how do we get to know? All this and much more is what we will see in this video. So let's get started with respect to the news. So the news is about Iran's denial to United States claim of transferring Iran's uranium to United States of America. Now, this present statement of Iran is coming during the ongoing negotiations between US Israel on one side and Iran on the other. However, the representative of Israel as such were not there in the Islamabad talk. US representatives, Iran representative mediated by Pakistan. That's the negotiation that's going on. The first peace talk sort of failed, the second ongoing. So during that background, this is also what is happening. Now let us see the key highlights of this. So as I mentioned, it all started again by this person who claimed that we will bring it, wherein subsequently Iran's foreign ministry's spokesperson rejected any such claim. He also clarified that the current negotiations that are ongoing is focused on ending the war. It has nothing to do with respect to, or the talks with respect to nuclearization, denuclearization, uranium enrichment, transfer of such material. Nothing of that sort is being discussed. It is only and only focused on ending the war. However, when US claims this and Iran claims something else, then there is a chance that this peace talk may also fail. And Iran has also said that if you keep on talking about things like this, then Iran can continue the blockade of the Iranian ports and continue the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz as well, which is so critical for energy security in the world. Now let us understand how much stockpile of nuclear material does Iran have. Now this is an estimation, so we will get certain rough numbers over here. So around 440 kgs of uranium, it is enriched up to 60%, whereas additional stockpile is also there, which is enriched up to 20%. Now why this 60% is important? Because this 60% enrichment is very close to the 90% enrichment that is required for weapon grade uranium. Yes. And as per the IAEA, or as per the Iran nuclear deal, which of course USA walked out from, so it is as good as not in place presently. However, the limit that was set under the Iran nuclear deal was 3.67% of nuclear enrichment. This was under Iran nuclear deal, which is also known as Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA. So under that, only this much of enrichment was allowed, but there is a huge stockpile of around 20% of enrichment, and about 440 kgs is at 60% of enrichment, which is very close to the 90% of enrichment. So let us now understand what is this enrichment all about and why it is so important. So let us see what is the meaning of enrichment first. So if you look at uranium, now uranium, it naturally consists of three major isotopes. So three major isotopes of uranium are there. These isotopes are combined. So in this combination, you have U238, U235 and U234. So when you have 1 unit of isotopes of uranium, in that you will have 99.28% of U-238 and only 0.7% of U-235, whereas there is U-234 also, which is 0.005%. We are interested in U-235. Why? Because this is the isotope of uranium which is used in the fissile process, which gives rise to huge amount of energy, giving rise to the nuclear energy, which can be used in nuclear weapons as well. But out of 100%, how much is U-235? U-235 is only 0.711%. Now, under the Iran nuclear deal, Iran is allowed to increase its percentage to 3.67% only. But we know through the IAEA investigations only that around 440 kgs is enriched beyond 60 percentage. That means what? That means they have a uranium isotope in which 60% is U-235, and for weapon grade uranium you need 90% of U-235 in that isotope. So what you have to do is you have to keep on enriching. Keep on enriching means take a unit of isotope of uranium, right? It will have U-238, U-234. Keep on separating it so that only uranium-235 remains. So keep on doing this process over and over again with more and more number of uranium isotopes, and keep on separating the other two parts that are there so that the percentage of U-235 keeps on increasing. That process is nothing but uranium enrichment. Now, how is this done? Let us have a look at how this is done. Before that, this is the graphical representation. So natural uranium will contain 0.7% of U-235. This and the rest are what? Rest is 238 major and 234 as well. So what you do is you basically enrich it. So what happens? Percentage of U-235 will increase. Now Iran is limited to enrich it up to 3.67%, but Iran has a lot of stockpile of 20% plus has reached 60% also, which is very close to this. Now this is weapon grade uranium, wherein you can see the percentage of U-235 here is 95%. So let us see how it is done. This enrichment of uranium is done with the help of this process. Now this is what? A centrifuge separation which is being done. Centrifuge separation. Now where is this word centrifuge coming from? This is basically a centrifuge in which there will be centrifugal force. Remember, this force is very important. Centrifugal force. What is this centrifugal force? It is an outward force. It is an outward force. It is a force opposite to the centripetal force that you may already know. Now this centripetal force is an inward force. You know, you experience this force every time you take a turn on a bike. So when you take a turn on a bike, right, the bike experiences a force, inward force. That's why you are taking a turn, right? So that inward force is known as a centripetal force. In the same manner, there can be an outward force. Let's say you are on a rotating swing which has a sling attached to it. So when it rotates, you will experience a force which is throwing you out, right? So the force which tends to throw you out when you are rotating is the centrifugal force. So in this centrifuge, what happens is you feed the uranium as gas over here, and this is going to rotate, and there is going to be centrifugal force which will be experienced. So what will happen? Because of that centrifugal force, this U-238 separates, falls and comes to the bottom, and what is remain is U-235. Why this comes to the bottom? Because this is heavier. U-235 is lighter, so it remains on top. This comes on bottom, and from the bottom it can be removed. So only U-235 will remain. Some parts of U-238 will still be there, That is how uranium will keep getting enriched more and more. So this is how you enrich the uranium. Now this enrichment has reached to 60% for Iran, which is close to weapon grade uranium, which requires 90% enrichment. So what is the way forward now? See, the idea is USA itself is a nuclear state, the only country who has also used the atomic bomb, and now they are saying that we will take uranium to USA as if they are saints. So that is also not what should happen, and plus Iran is standing its ground and not letting them do that. So the way forward should be the revival and renegotiation of the nuclear agreement framework. Similar thing on the lines of the Iran nuclear deal that was there, right? Strengthening the IAEA inspection mechanism and diplomatic de-escalation should be there. See, even this, the Iran may now find it biased because other countries have, USA has, and now USA is stopping Iran from having. Why? Is it inherently that a country, if it is named Iran or it belongs to a West Asia region, will inherently be more prone to use it? Right? You can't say that. How would you justify that? So there can be a deadlock, but at least to resolve it for now, we can have something on the lines of JCPOA, Iran nuclear deal, and de-escalation of any further conflict. Thank you.